Okay, so I'm still seeing people who are troubled by the news reports that they're finding here, there, and everywhere. So I'm just going to do another one of my messages. All fear is an illusion. This is a teaching of Dr. David R. Hawkins, who was a prominent psychiatrist and spiritual teacher. All fear is an illusion. And what's the illusion all about? The illusion here is for humans to go within themselves and find their own connection to source within. It's not like you have lost connection with it, but you are being brainwashed by the external world to believe you don't have a connection and that the world is a horrible, frightening place. Well, it certainly can appear like a horrible, horrible place because you were born into well, for you, it's a world. You were born into a world where you are fragile. And you see with your eyes and stories with your ears, and maybe even with your physical body, evidence that the world is a frightening place and that you are a fragile thing. And then, the worst of it all is they keep telling me that people die. And then what happens? It's a great fear. It's an enormous fear. It's the biggest fear of being born on this planet is the fear of death. And the associated fears that go around it are becoming disabled, becoming paralyzed, becoming horribly sick. Because the evidence is this is what happens to humans. Nevertheless, it's a place where you will hear messages like what I'm giving you so that you get an option to follow a path outside of the mainstream path. The mainstream path is to buy into external authorities. I mean, things that you're taught, schooling, textbooks, authority figures, the government, doctors, lawyers, Mr. President, scientists. The world is an enormous thing to divert you into finding your own divinity. And you never lost it, but you certainly can get frightened looking for it here and there. And even Jesus says in the Bible, lo here, lo there. Where is it? Where is my safety? Where is my good? And he says, the kingdom of heaven is within you. And he's not lying. It's within you. And that means you have to ignore the evidence of your sensory body. Well, I heard Mrs. Jones, a street over, she died last week. All of this stuff is designed to get you, first of all, interested in the external world and what all the experts have to say, because that's part of the game. Is first thing in the game, from the time you're a little kid until you become an adult and you get on a spiritual path, you learn how to use your senses to navigate this world. But that's only one stage of this. The next stage is a lot of fear. A lot of fear. And the emotions that come with, I'm really scared. And, sometimes I put on a brave face for other people, but there's times when I'm alone that I have a real breakdown and I get incredibly emotional because I am really scared of this world. And, maybe you'd be like me and you have months of depression. And then you'll be okay for a while, and then maybe you'll have more depression. And maybe, you feel like you're over your depression and you're fine. And you've connected internally to love and peace. And just when you figured you had it all worked out, something in the world comes along and sends you into depression again. And then if you're like me, you have years of demonic attacks. And then, for me, finally, I came to the understanding that a lot of the things that I was experiencing because I still believed that I was the human body. And I was shown in a very unpleasant method, very scary, very horrible method. But I was shown that I am a silent witness, witnessing this body and the world around it. And even then, I still had horrible, horrible experiences through this body. So even when you're like me and you come to understand that you are the silent awareness, it doesn't make this game going away. The game continues. And for me, the game was still a lot of really unbelievably long-term horrible, 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 horrible. And learning with the body, learning how to live through Horrible, 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 horrible for years and years. When everything is pulled away from you, and just when you think everything has been pulled away from you, then some other stuff gets pulled away from you. And the process continues. It's the spiritual journey. Completely letting go of control. Completely letting go of the illusions that you think are realities until these realities get pulled away from you. Stripped away, stripped away, stripped away. And more you become the silent witness of it all. And your experience is nothing you could ever prepare for. Nothing you could ever prepare for. And my testimony is simply, if you haven't had these experiences, be prepared. And you can't really be prepared, but remember what I tell you. All fear is an illusion, but when you might experience unbelievable amounts of fear. So it is, why do we tell you all fear is an illusion? Because this whole world is an illusion. And it doesn't make it any easier, but another one that you can remember is this too will pass, although there's been many times when I've wondered when the hell is this going to pass, and it goes on for years and years. To sum up, though, the fear porn of mainstream news and the people who are in what we call the matrix, those are people that are just like what I was for so many years, brainwashed by this world into believing a bunch of stuff. It's still not out of the woods for me because I'm still here. But I just know from years and years of living here that the lies are unbelievable. Well, you believe them. You believe the lies for so long. But in the end, you'll come to see that this world has been like a really nasty trip on a really nasty roller coaster. And I'm still here. But I don't believe the shit that they put on the mainstream news. And I don't believe all of these authority figures. I have to go along with them. You become a very good actor at going along with the quarantine and your social isolation, social distancing, because I understand that the people who are these authority figures in my community really believe the story because they haven't been woken up. And no one understands being woken up until you start getting woken up. So I'm going to say it for so many times I say it on my videos. What is the best way to deal with this? The best way to deal with this is meditate. Watch your thoughts and your body from the inside of your body and do it every day. Work on, through your meditations, getting inner silence in your head. This is one of your goals as a meditator, inner silence. It means a state of no thought, no thinking going on in your mind. And it might take quite a bit of meditation to get you there, but you will start having periods when you have no thinking in here. If you want an example of no thinking, when you first wake up in the morning, pretty much first thing in the morning when you first wake up, you have a very small period with no thinking, no noise in your head. It might be for 10 or 15 seconds. And then the thinking and the thoughts, the inner voice starts up. But you have that small example when you wake up, when you have no thinking going on, and that's what you want to expand by meditation. More and more periods of no thinking, and it's a huge relief because the inner thinking, the inner voice will torture you with lies and endless chatter, monkey mind, endless chatter, endless lies, endless fears, endless control trips, telling you what to do, what to believe, and endless screwing with you. Oh, you forgot to do this or you forgot to do that. You're stupid. Ha ha ha. I knew it. You didn't. Oh, the voice in your head will drive you mad. It's not you. The voice in your head is not you. And it drives people crazy. There's lots of different descriptions of this inner voice, but it's not you. And to learn that, you must meditate and watch these voices while you are sitting for long periods of time, day after day. So you can finally get these long periods without the inner voice driving you crazy. And then perhaps you will discover that outside of your own inner voice, you have connections to other people and what's going on with them, their emotions and their thoughts affecting you. And their own inner voice driving them crazy and having them act out and attacking you, screaming at you, telling you that you're crazy. No, it's the people who haven't done the work, haven't been meditating themselves, who are the ones who are possessed by this inner voice that makes them absolutely crazy at times and very angry at you. Maybe they'll get together with other crazy people who are all possessed by their inner voice and they'll send you to the hospital. They'll abandon you. Some of these people that you thought were your friends will call you up one day out of the blue and start screaming at you. It's because people are possessed by these inner voices and they're demonic. But as you continue your meditation practice, you come to see all of these things are, this is what's going on. And you live through this. And then you discover that there are other people like me who have been living with this for a long time in this world that we call hell. Don't get all upset about me. I am not the one that needs help. But you said you got demonic attacks and depression, things that I've lived through. The reason I talk about it is because if and when these things happen to you, you'll know that there are other people who live through this stuff too. Because sometimes you'll feel very isolated. And you will be isolated. It might be a long time before you come to where I am. When it's, oh no, not again. And I don't want to go through another round of this. Horrible, horrible. But I've done it so many times. I know I can. I don't want to, but I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. I've done it so many times. I can do it. I can do it. Don't want to, but I can do it. And if it's happening again, then here we go again. It doesn't sound like fun. This part of the spiritual journey is not fun. But I can do it. I do with it my way. And I'm used to other people telling me, you need some help, you need to seek help. No, I don't. All the rest of the people who you're supposed to go see because you need help, those are the ones who really need help. Because they haven't had their turn yet. To wake up from this. In the meantime, I wait for more things to happen, for more people to wake up. And I don't want to tell you, but in certain circumstances, I feel like it's been a very long time waiting for things. On other times, there's just an inner knowing that don't know when, but eventually we're going to see big changes worldwide. Eventually, whenever that is. Not getting too much tied up into people's predictions of all kinds of things happening. Staying present, whatever this now moment is, not getting too enraptured with the past and different forecasts of good futures or bad futures. Being here all the time, coming back to now, coming back to my breathing now, being here,